Something very wild just went down on Chinese television today, and if you're a supporter of Peter Obi or you are planning to vote in 2027 or more, you need to listen to this very carefully because a massive court order just dropped and rumors are everywhere that Peter Obi's newly adopted political party has just been completely wiped out. But wait until you hear how the national chairman fiercely reacted on live TV today.
So the NDC is still a party. The court itself did not deregister it. And no step has been taken whatsoever to that effect.
In your party, there are those who believe that this is ultimately targeted at Peter Obi and Kwan Kwoso to stop them from being in the contest. Do you think this could be a major issue too?
Well, first of all, as I told you, the NDC has been very careful and selective.
What if the fresh hearing goes against you?
Sorry?
What if the fresh hearing that the court is asking for goes against you?
No, wait.
So here's the real story. Not too long ago, a political party called the Nigerian Democratic Congress, the NDC, officially adopted Peter Obi as their flag bearer for the 2027 presidential election. Everything was moving smoothly until a federal high court in Lokoja gave a ruling that sent shockwaves across social media. Before you knew it, headlines started flying around claiming that the court has ordered INEC to deregister the party, meaning that Peter Obi would be blocked from running under them. And according to what some people are saying online, allegedly that APC is behind this, or even Atiku. Now, to clear the air, the NDC leadership was invited onto Chinese television today, and instead of backing down or more, the chairman didn't agree at all. He completely went on the attack. He dismissed the entire rumor, saying that the party is still 100% standing and they are headed straight to the Court of Appeal. But the part that is making everyone talk on internet right now is what he said about the people fighting them. Omo, he didn't bite his tongue at all. He said, and I quote, "They are cowards and they are just afraid of Peter Obi." Now, I want you to look at the actual video clip from today's interview so you can see exactly how the drama unfolded. And don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button.
Now, the NDC has not been deregistered. The NDC has validly nominated candidates for all elective offices in primaries monitored nationwide by INEC, from House of Assembly to House of Reps to Senate to governorship and to a presidential candidate who has also nominated a running mate. I myself am also a senatorial candidate of the party. All nominations have been validly carried out, monitored by INEC, in accordance with the time frame given by INEC. So I assure all our candidates and members that those nominations are valid. And by the laws of this country, nominations are done at the primaries that take place at the various levels. The submission to INEC is an administrative procedure. So the NDC is still a party. The court itself did not deregister it. And no step has been taken whatsoever to that effect.
Let's argue the position of the law. And today, it's difficult for me to actually argue because I'm a very senior member of the bar. It's difficult for me to, but let's look at the rest of the bar. Let's look at the issues, the subject matter as debated in court. And the ruling of Friday returned you to the first instance. The reason that took you to Lokoja was the fact that INEC was refusing to register your party. And you went to court to say, INEC, you must register, and you won the matter. And that was the reason when afterward, after December, you came out to say, we've got a political party. Yeah. But the court has now said, that judgment, I know better, I see better. That judgment, I take it back to before I gave you the judgment that allowed you to be registered as a political party. So if you interpret that, it means that you are back to status quo. The status quo meaning that before you went to court to challenge INEC for not registering you. So there are those who interpret it as though there's no NDC because the party took you back to pre-registration.
Well, first of all, that interpretation is wrong. Whatever orders that he made in terms of status quo, even while the status quo you're talking about is debatable. Because right now, you have NDC registered as a political party. When the court made that order, the court positively compelled INEC to register us. This ruling did not contain a positive mandatory order directing INEC to deregister. This ruling did not do that.
But there's a judgment that INEC had that compelled INEC to register. No, but that ruling, that judgment in the hands of INEC is now a nullity. That judgment means nothing is left.
Wait. Courts don't function that way. Courts don't function that way.
To reverse it.
Orders of courts are to be construed strictly. It was possible for the court to have made that order on deregistration if that was what it wanted. But the court did not say so. And in any case, our contention is that that order that was purportedly made was an order that was extra jurisdictional. He had no jurisdiction, no powers to have even entertained the application, no powers to have made even that order on status quo, whichever way you want to interpret it. And that's a decision that the appellate courts will look at, and they will know what to do. And we are confident that even the orders, whichever way you want to interpret it, will be put right in no distant time. Okay? Once the applications are lodged, and our lawyers have been doing a terrific job, and the issues are very clear. I would like you and all Nigerians to know this. Look, the party that went to file an application, a motion. Who are they? Nigerians should know that that is not a registered political party at all. It is actually a non-entity. It's not known to the laws of Nigeria. We have natural persons, you and I, Senator Dixon and Okimbaloye, we are natural persons, okay? In this political sphere, for you to participate in political activities, you must be a political party. That applicant is unknown to the laws of this country. It is not a political association. It is also not a registered political party. It is not carrying out political activities. It is not sponsoring political candidates for this election or for any election at all. Nobody even knows the national chairman of that so-called association. Nobody knows the secretary. Nobody knows the office or headquarters. Nobody knows any member. Only someone described herself as pro-tem legal advisor of an association. And it's even anomalous that it refers to itself as a party. It is not a political party. Actually, that is a crime under the laws of this country. A crime under the laws of this country. Because by the laws of this country, only a registered political party can call itself a political party and can undertake or be part of political activities. And it is a criminal offense to do so. So, ab initio, there was no legal, justiciable person, no juristic person before the court. Okay? So the action, every action associated with this matter is frivolous and it's embarrassing, actually.
So you really don't know people who are behind it?
No, there's nobody actually behind it. Now,
what do you suspect?
Wait. Yeah. So there are many suspicions and many motives going on, but I'm not here to trade suspicions. What I'm here to explain, the kind of situation that has been contrived. Contrived in the sense that, what did the affidavit, the so-called affidavit, that didn't really disclose any case at all? You look at the affidavit, and the Court of Appeal and others will look at it, and you'll hear more about it. Look, they said, even if you take them by what they have read, they said 2015, that association, not a party, association, applied for registration as a political party. And they were denied. Of course, as you all know, we started as 2017. Okay? Now, they were denied. So they are not a political party. And if you check 2015 till now, or till December, when we got this order, it's 10 years. So 10 years, that association has been moribund, dormant, non-existent, dissolved itself. It's of no consequence, does not exist. Even if it existed at that time, if members, some may have died as human beings, some may have left, they may have japared, they may have... So it is not a body that can pursue any claim against our party. It is not a body capable of having any rights that can be enforced. And in any case, look, what did they say? They said, 2015 when they applied to use the V sign as their logo. But they were denied. And once that application was denied, that was the end of it. If they had gone to court to get INEC, as we did, to register themselves as a political party, then they would have had a case. But they were denied, and for 10 years, nobody knows who they are. All right? Now, we got our own applied through the courts, and we have been registered. Now, by the laws of this country, the Electoral Act, and even by the INEC guidelines, once a party has a logo registered, they have what they call a register of symbols. So as at the date of that judgment, it is the NDC that has the symbol, this symbol. And so, it is a criminal offense for any other person to purport to lay claim to this.
ABC says that symbol looks like their own.
No. That was why we went to court. And the court overruled them. And funny enough, all these arguments were canvassed. Because INEC said 2015, before the judgment, INEC said 2015, an association applied with this sign. And the judge, this same judge, asked them, before the judgment of December last year, were they registered? INEC said no. Are they seeking to be registered now? In other words, in the process that started last year, INEC said no. So, Shehu, this association, whatever it is called, has never been in the equation at all for the past 10 years. Let me tell you this. That judgment was well written. This party, this so-called association, never applied to be registered as a party at the time we did. So there was no conflict. And we're not talking about proprietary of symbols, and it's not a registered trademark issue as to who applied and who is registered. Even now,
there's those who will say this means peace more than national.
Sorry?
There are those who argue that maybe peace movement has a case, actually, because in a general and global concept, that this means, these two fingers, which is the symbol of the party, means...
What I'm explaining to you, this is victory sign. And political icons all over the world, not only in Nigeria, have used it. Mahatma Gandhi used it. Okay? Nelson Mandela used it. So many great political figures have used it. Even in Nigeria, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, our sage, use it. Malam Aminu Kano used it. As a matter of fact, in the NEPU, in the 50s, 40s and 50s, this was their sign, registered. And it Nasara, victory, in the north, in Hausa. So nobody can claim ownership of this sign. A peace sign. A peace sign, or whatever you say it is. Even if they were functioning. And let me tell you this, by the Electoral Act, and INEC knows all of this, we have a professor of law and a senior advocate. So that's why I'm concerned that political players, for fear of going through elections and competitions, they are destroying the judiciary, putting the judiciary in a very bad light, and putting INEC also in a very bad light. Look, even if you are a registered political party by the electoral law, and you are deregistered, and you are not operating for 5 years, another party, another association can take that symbol. Is that in the electoral act? So, even if, assuming without considering that they were a proper political association with officers, even if they applied and they are acting, once from 2015 they have not been operational, they have no right.
Let me quickly answer this. Let me ask you this. Part of, and I'm insisting on what the court's ruling was on Friday, the court held that material facts were not disclosed during the earlier proceedings.
What was it?
That it's a serious judicial finding. Did the NDC or its legal representatives fail in their duty of full disclosure?
No, let me tell you. His Lordship, and I say that with respect, even though we disagree, by who we are and as part of the leadership of our country at different levels. So we have a duty to protect and preserve the integrity of key national institutions, the judiciary being one. And I'm one of those who have always fought to promote and protect judicial officers and the judiciary as an institution. And this is why what is going on about the ADC a month ago, using the same judiciary, using this phony, unsubstantiated legal matters and creating a turmoil in the judicial system. And all of these have the capacity to reduce and weaken the public's perception and confidence in the judiciary, which is very important for our democracy to survive. Look, the disclosure you're talking about, in that application, there was full and complete disclosure. By who? INEC, who came to oppose us, the application. And one of the reasons they advanced was that there was this sign, which was the bone of conduct, that it was used by a peace movement. This movement, they refer to this party, this application. And His Lordship asked them himself in the proceedings, are they applying now to be registered now in this exercise? He said no. Are they a registered political party in the country so that we can say that what these people are saying is in conflict with that? They said no, they are not a political party. So there was disclosure, material disclosure. They didn't have to be joined. You don't join a party you don't know. You don't join a party that is not in existence.
Let me ask you, sir. Did you register NDC with the CAC?
No.
Before you went to I'm getting somewhere.
Wait.
Did you register with CAC before you went to INEC?
No, you don't register political parties with CAC.
Are you aware that the Peace Movement Party, because when you describe it as a non-juristic element in this matter, there are those who will say that may not be correct, considering the fact that under Part C of CAMA, the Peace Movement claims that it has been registered as an association and as an entity, legal entity under the Nigerian law. It's only not been accommodated by INEC as a registered political party. And that, and that sign is accompanied in their registration as CAMA as an entity, as a juristic identifiable individual under Nigerian law.
Look, let me tell you. Registration with INEC, if they are registered under CAMA, Part C, okay, that's not for political participation. That they are not, by the laws of this country, authorized to canvass for votes. They cannot sponsor candidates. They cannot function as a political party or hold themselves out as one. Okay? So there's no conflict. Assuming, without considering, that they are even registered as an NGO under Part C. Okay? There's no conflict. I'm telling you that even if a party were registered and that party ceases to function for 5 years, I'm saying that INEC is at liberty to allow another party to use that symbol. So, symbols are not reasons why you deregister a political party.
They claim you copied their symbol.
No.
And that's what they are fighting.
So Mahatma Gandhi copied it. NEPU copied it from them.
Mahatma Gandhi did not register it in Nigeria.
No, I'm telling you that even before them, NEPU in the 40s was using this as Nasara. Listen to me. What people are trying to do is to look for flimsy reasons to truncate the political opposition, destabilize and weaken and scatter the political opposition, to weaken the political opposition, which is why it is worrisome. With ADC, it was a certain Gumbe Nafiu, who was there at the day they were holding a meeting to formally appoint David Mark and the other leaders. I can't speak much for that, but all Nigerians are aware. And now, for a party that is now growing, that we have worked so hard and presenting credible, dynamic political leaders, probably one of the most charismatic set of leaders, converging now in the NDC. We know we're not naive to know that will not cause concerns in some quarters. But we want to say that, look, they should push this with care. All of us as leaders have a duty to nurture and protect our nation's democracy. Okay, we know where we're coming from.
Is this a plan to not to allow the NDC to be on the ballot?
Well, that will not succeed. NDC will be on the ballot. We have already started the process of being on the ballot. As I told you, we have already concluded the process of nominating our candidates in accordance with the INEC timetable.
Tomorrow, INEC will be giving out the code for political parties to enter their candidates. Yes. What if INEC refuses NDC the code?
INEC will not refuse.
But if INEC is standing on this ruling,
I can't speak, no. INEC has told you they're not even aware of this ruling. And by tomorrow, our processes will deal with them. Okay? And once...
So you're asking for a stay?
We apply for an injunction to restrain all of that, and the right thing has to be done. INEC is an institution that is used to dealing with these things. They are used to frivolous applications such as this. They are used to instances where cops, unfortunately, as in this case, makes a bizarre, a ruling that is difficult to fathom. And everybody can be wrong. Everybody is shocked. So INEC knows what to do. And furthermore, INEC, fortunately, is not just a professor. He's not the first professor to head INEC. But this is a professor of law. This is a senior advocate of Nigeria.
So this means a lot.
He knows the right thing to do. And you see, it's not for nothing that, look, INEC went to challenge the attempt to deregister the political parties. INEC fired a counter saying they were opposed to that move. That's good. Okay? So INEC, under Professor Muchon Piton's leadership, Not surprising, but he's a professor of law and a senior advocate. And INEC also, over the past 27 years, has also built institutional capacity. They have seen all of this. They have seen kangaroo judgments flying overnight, and they have a system by which this will handle. And so we are confident they will know what to do, but most importantly, we are confident in the Nigerian judiciary. Okay? A judge has erred, we're not happy about it, but we have confidence in the Nigerian judiciary.
Are you reporting to the NJC?
No, that's not our focus. As a person, I've always been a promoter and supporter of the judiciary and individual justices and judges. And that's why even on this program, I'm not casting any personal aspersions on the judge. Well, I believe that they are doing a very critical job, and it's our duty, all of us as leaders, to encourage and support them. And even when they err and they make decisions that we disagree with, we have an opportunity to vent around and to get the other appellate courts to do what. That's what hierarchy of courts is about.
In your party, there are those who believe that this is ultimately targeted at Peter Obi and Kwankwaso to stop them from being in the contest. Do you think this could be a major issue too?
Well, first of all, as I told you, the NDC has been very careful and selective in the choice of our candidates. His Excellency Peter Obi and His Excellency Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso, who, by the way, shortly before I came here, visited me before I came to the studio. I mean, when he came from Kano, drove straight, and we had interaction before I came here. We have formed a partnership, and we have selected credible candidates. I myself am running for Senate. And it is like that all over Nigeria. 109 senators selected, 360 House of Rep members selected, all House of Assembly candidates selected, all governors selected, carefully selected. All our governorship candidates have capacity to win elections because the mass of Nigerians are behind us. And we are not naive. And I'm not naive as national leader. So, and my partners, my colleagues, because we're a partnership. Peter Obi and Kwankwaso and I, we're a partnership with all our teaming followers and support and candidates and leaders at all levels. We are not naive to know that this convergence will not cause concerns and worries. Okay? We're not naive. But what we know is that this, even if somebody is a hangman, you should know how to hang properly. This is a terrible hangman job. This is not an association that can sustain this kind of...
what if the fresh hearing goes against you?
Sorry?
What if the fresh hearing that the court is asking for goes against you?
No, wait. By the way our court system works, Shehu, once our processes are entered, the judicial system will move and probably even shift ground. Do you understand? I mean, ask yourself, if you have already deregistered, if that is your interpretation, if you have set aside your judgment, what are you hearing? No, you ask yourself, not being a judge. See, which means that there has been no full and comprehensive hearing. But INEC was in court, we sent our representative, and the one-man association, or do I say one-woman association, because the plaintiff there is a certain name, who is pro-team national legal advisor. There's no chairman of that association or president. There's no secretary of that association or president.
No trustees.
There are no trustees of that association. So it's not the trustees suing. If you say it is registered under Part C, then it's the trustees that should be there. Okay? It's a legal advisor. Is that the person that can sustain this kind of claim against a political party that is sponsoring over 1,000 candidates, a political party that has held primaries from ward to national convention, a political party that has held primaries from a state assembly, House of Reps, Senate, governorship, and presidential and running mates? So what kind of democracy? What kind of...
So this is definitely a witch hunt as far as you're concerned.
Well, you could say so, but I prefer to say that it is not substantiated by law. Because of my respect for the judiciary as an institution, and of which I have been a lifelong supporter of, and I have a responsibility. Because you see, judges don't speak. So people should be, I don't like people saying statements, making statements about individual judges and justices. Because by their conservative rules and their precedents, they can't speak for themselves. So we have a duty to protect, and it's a critical institution. We can't have a democracy without the judiciary. We can't have a democracy without you, the media. We can't have a democracy without the security agencies being fair and impartial to some form. We can't have a democracy without INEC being an unbiased umpire. And that's what we're seeking. And that's the responsibility, all of us as leaders of parties, leaders of governments, and the president, who is the president and commander-in-chief and the leader of the nation, has a duty to ensure that the waters are not polluted.
You think this party have what it takes to defeat the ruling party come 2027? Because according to what Peter Obi supporters are saying, whether APC likes it or not, them no go agree. So I want to know what you think in the comments. And do you think there's going to be more problem for NDC? Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you in my next video.